Want to make love
There you go. There you go. There you go. He was with it. He was with it.
Now, what is that thing doing on top?
It's trying to connect to the
Trying to connect back into us, though. Yeah, because we love to get. But even if that don't record, we still have it online, won't we, Dead Station?
Yes.
Okay, so we're still.
Well, you're still on your phone, so
Yeah,
you still got Facebook
but I can still go to YouTube and still see it later, right?
Absolutely.
Right. Now, just kind of, I'm learning from you guys, you know.
What is it doing? Is this recorded already, or do we have to start another one?
I don't know what you hit. I had to tap something over there. But also, ladies and gentlemen, Club Expectations Friday, Saturday night is party night. I want to also say the 27th of December, we're going to be here with another comedy show. Rickey Shackelford, Howard G on the show. Also, we got a lot of up-and-coming new comedians. Want to give them a shout-out. Diva Shirley, want to give her some love. I also want to get Bobby Brooks going to be on that show to show her how to do it.
Bobby!
That's right. Also, I don't want to forget nobody. I got Grandma Dynamite on the show. Give her some love. I think Casey should be back. He came out of his status of sexy. He want to be successful, but I say you got to earn success. Nobody hands it to you. But we got a slew of comedians hosted by yours truly, Rickey Shackelford, Howard G. Also want to give it up to DJ Twist too. Twiz. I always mess his name up.
Right.
Everybody say you messed their name.
As long as they don't mess up Shackelford, they're already messed up. You know.
That sounds like a slave name. You know, ain't nobody.
Don't steal my own jokes. Now I told you that. See, now you're throwing my jokes back.
Now it's stuck with
Barbie. She's been most everywhere.
with her red or pink hair.
No, the unemployment now on welfare.
Oh, y'all had a groove going. Y'all had a groove going.
This is the stuff here. Don't let it get started. We're just trying to feel you out, Stacey the Great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sure we get on.
We need you, honey. We need you. Do your thing.
All right, this is our first show, y'all. So y'all got to bear with us.
We're having a little fun. We got a lot of personalities here, and we're gonna just be who we are and just get it going.
We're gonna beat Rickey.
Yeah. That beat. Some beatings I'm just gonna have to take.
What's your name?
Toby.
You gonna eat your cornbread?
I want my cornbread.
How was everybody Thanksgiving?
Oh no, thanks. Oh my goodness. I ran into my nephew Boo Boo.
Okay,
Boo. He made me feel so good. Don't drink no more, but he still smoke weed. I said what? What? That's my nephew though. But hey, look, drinking is important. If you can drop one, take one at a time. You know.
Yeah.
You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, and George Washington didn't have just one slave.
Drinking was the best thing to stop first though, because that's harsh on your body.
It'll eat your insides up.
Right.
I'm listening to so many people after all that drinking, all them years, now they having health problems.
Right.
You know, so you know, and I'm one to talk about that. I had DUI, but I wasn't an alcoholic. It's a difference. You know, I don't. Says me.
Okay.
Right.
If you don't listen, we agree. and I jump in when you can, because if you don't know where you came from, my mom and dad drank when they was younger. All right. Once they got in the church, you forgot they even drink. You know?
That was my mother and father. Yes.
You have a country club. I didn't know what a switch.
Speaking of that though, like Rickey, you've been out of that and having the DUIs and past that.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? You can't even have a drink around Rickey. You be like, hey, wait.
But for you,
like the church people when you're trying to bring you to Jesus.
But you know, I'm gonna tell you something. I thought about it the other day. I don't miss drinking.
no.
Okay.
No, listen, I don't miss it because I look at my skin now.
Right.
My skin
It
is
don't
much
look like
better.
leather.
It looks like you've been using
It
cocoa
don't
butter.
look like.
You know when people be drinking, they look like
Leatherface.
It's a leather. No, but
They do.
I don't miss that. I don't have physical problems.
That's
I
a good thing.
don't. I'm in the gym. Don't get it twisted. I go to the gym 3 days a week. So the alcohol was just, you know, what do you call this? Job related. That was just something you were there in the club. From Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm training. I'm on my bike. So don't get overlooked about being an alcoholic. And I have to say that because we have a big problem.
But I want to know. You said you be in the gym, right? What part of your body do you work out?
No. No, you wouldn't believe it. I don't even talk without going in. I wear my shade glasses.
You can't be quiet.
I go to the gym to leave them problems there. I go to church to leave them problems there.
I get that. No, I get that.
Because there's so much stress people work with every day, and they take it with them. They don't know how to get rid of it.
Okay.
Exercise and prayer, and you
A lot
gotta.
of people say that, and I just be wondering, is God stressed out? Because you just give it to God.
Everything.
You got a lot.
God, like, don't give me nothing else. Deal with some of that shit on your own.
Give it to God.
Yeah, but it works for me. But that's why I feel sorry for the ones that have addiction with alcohol and drugs, because it's to mess this city up.
Right.
You can't go from North and Penn, and Lexington Market,
Right.
seeing these people, nodding and whatever. And,
Okay.
and some of them in your family.
I can do.
Is
that Uncle Ricky?
You'll never
He
see
sure
that.
look familiar.
Excuse me.
I can deal with the nodding and all that. I'd rather them nod than talk to themselves, because that shit scares me. It scares me.
As long as they ain't talking to me, I don't give a shit.
No,
Don't talk to me.
They might be talking to you.
Don't matter to me. I'm still walking.
But I got one worse
Not
than
going.
that. You see somebody talking to themselves, you think they on something, they really on the phone.
Right.
I didn't know what that was with that Bluetooth when they first came out.
Walking around looking like Men in Black. Wait a minute.
Y'all are quick, man. That's good.
I do want to say something, because we started talking about how was your Thanksgiving.
Sure, that's good.
I have got to say this because I have had a million conversations with a million people when
Sure.
you ask them how was their Thanksgiving. Look at here, people. If your family fucked up, stop going to their goddamn house for Thanksgiving, okay? I'm not fitting to go to nobody's house to celebrate a holiday that the good government then gave me off to beef with you motherfuckers over some macaroni and cheese. I'm not doing it.
It sounds like you had some problem.
I stayed in the fucking house.
You
I had no problem.
You didn't go out.
I did not leave.
You didn't visit no family?
I did not. No. I stayed in my fucking onesie. I ate. I drank. I slept. I shit. I woke up. I did it again.
But you didn't.
For 4 days straight. I left out one time to go shopping on Black Friday. No.
You shot out on Black Friday, though.
Right.
Stop it. All these people are saying, like, my family, they was arguing about this, or my family, they can't never. Stop it. Your mental health is more important. I don't care if it's family. I don't care if it's friends. Why are you subjecting yourself to a crazy day that you could have been off and spent it with your friends who actually love you?
That sounds like a dysfunctional family.
A lot of motherfuckers is dysfunctional. That's the problem.
Well,
listen, on Thanksgiving,
Mm-hmm.
on Thanksgiving, I felt like I worked. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah,
mean? I
yeah.
should have been somewhere 9 to 5. At least I would make money. I bought the food. I cooked the food. I served the food, and I had to pick the food up.
Wait a minute, you served the food?
Yes, I served food. Man, when family come over, you gotta fix their plate.
Y'all are killing me.
You gotta fix their plate.
Not gonna be able to do it. I went out and bought it and I cooked it. You can make your own plate, y'all.
I fixed plates.
You're good. You're good.
She's a great slave.
When I grow up, I want to be.
Man,
I ain't
let
doing
me tell you what I'm
nothing.
doing
But hold on.
next year, Thanksgiving, I'm eating crabs.
But it's crab.
I'm getting a whole bushel of crabs, and that's what I'm
You
doing.
love
And then
crab.
everybody
cooking
can get at your
nothing.
house like, can I get you
No,
a
and
dollar
I'm
for
gonna be.
crab?
They gonna be watching me eat crabs.
Yeah, but what, I like my Thanksgiving. I gotta give the good with the bad. The good was my sister's Southern down. She
They
can cook.
sing.
She can cook.
They can sing.
Ooh.
Your sisters.
What do you mean they can sing?
On there, they sing. Don't tell your business on Facebook.
Oh,
I like that
ain't my
song.
sister.
Oh, that wasn't.
That
Who
was
was
on Facebook, and I just
Oh, well,
I shared it.
whoever
I
the
was
big
doing that
ladies
with
was.
your sis. They was
They
rocking.
don't know that baby.
Them big ladies was
Oh,
rocking.
man, they was
I was
rocking.
like, don't put you. I was
Don't
with
put
it.
your bitches on Facebook.
I was with
That
it.
ain't my sister's.
I almost changed. I almost went and erased my business off of Facebook.
No, that wasn't my sister's stuff. My sister, I'm tired of eating sweet potato pie. I don't eat enough of that. My goodness.
That's good.
I'm
I
so-
like
I'm so constipated
I
right
love
now.
sweet potato pie.
When was
Pumpkin pie.
Thanksgiving? The last Thursday, I'm
Right.
still constipated.
Oh,
Y'all better not be still eating Thanksgiving food. Like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's it. Like, stop.
But one
It's
problem is,
festering now.
I'm finding, yes it is, and that's the thing. See, that don't last no more than 5 days.
There you go.
It's
After
done.
5 days, throw it away. Throw it away.
You
You're not
got
fit.
some slippery Earl chicken.
Right.
You know, I
You're
was-
still taking it to work for lunch, stinking up the office.
Please.
No, let me
Girl, I
tell
can
you
make some
something.
stuff out of some turkey. Turkey salad, Turkey and omelet. You ain't had a turkey with omelet? Come on.
I don't like turkey. My husband did fry turkey this year, and it was actually fucking good.
Fried turkey is good.
But other than that, I ain't gonna be able to do it.
Right. So the bottom line is Thanksgiving ain't your cup of tea. I'm talking to you, Stacey.
No, I love Thanksgiving,
Right.
but I have a certain amount of peace that I will not waver for anybody. I don't care who it is. And on Thanksgiving, although we celebrate it for the wrong reasons, it is a day that I am supposed to be thankful and grateful for all the blessings that God has bestowed upon me.
Sure.
And be
Right.
thankful for my family, thankful for my friends, those kinds of things.
Right.
If I have to get outside of my peaceful realm
Right.
to get to grandma's house and beef with Aunt Lucy and then turn around and tell Lil Ray Ray and nigga, say something else, I swear to God, I'm gonna slap the shit out you. Who want to live like that on Thanksgiving?
You don't want to bang
That
Ray
is
Ray in
true.
the mouth.
But you know what I don't like? I don't like going to people's houses that cook the day before. Like, don't feed me no leftovers.
You think that's a leftover?
That's leftovers.
Ain't no
If you cooked it yesterday, it's
That's
leftover.
seasoned. That's seasoned marinade.
No, marinade means you hand prepare the meal. If you cook the whole thing and put it in the refrigerator, so you serving leftovers on Thanksgiving.
But I thought you cooked
So
the day
he-
earlier
I did
at
not.
night.
No,
No, I started cooking at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That's the same day.
This-
Right. Well, literally, yeah, you're right. So here, I do that though.
Right,
When I
right.
get off of work on Wednesday, I go home and I cook the full meal.
Right.
So that when we get up on Thanksgiving, I don't want to have to cook shit. My
See,
fat ass
Colin,
want to eat
that-
Thanksgiving for breakfast.
you want to start off with some
I'm starting off my whole day.
Hey,
Cold turkey, cold macaroni and
It's not
cheese,
cold. We got an oven.
old ring,
Microwave.
like
Microwave.
24 hours old when you serve
All
it.
you gotta do, because
No.
All you
Not
gotta
24 hours,
do, because I'm a
12.
chef. All you gotta do, because I'm a chef, is slide some gravy on it.
Wait a second. That's not the answer.
Slide some gravy on it. You forget all about all that other stuff, dog. No, I cooked in the Army for like 3 years, and we had 400 people a meal. That was a lot of people. That's why holidays I don't get excited about holidays, because I've always worked on holidays as a cook in the Army. And enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Everybody enjoying it, watching it, eating, cooking. I'm looking out the kitchen like, what y'all say?
Right.
What y'all talking about? Don't nobody want to help. Don't nobody want to wash dishes. Don't nobody want to sweep.
Women, Bobby, you ain't had the joint now. I mean, you in the Army.
I'm in the Army. I got my own on me.
I ain't doing that.
I got my own on me.
That's so what high school did you go to, Mister? Uh-oh.
Ah! Baltimore City College
you were
High
Baltimore.
School, City forever.
Yeah.
And you went where? Tell them again.
Old Mill.
Old Mill.
Millersville, Maryland. Have you ever been?
If you didn't
I
have
rode
no
past
car,
there.
that's a long walk.
I rode through there probably before. That's the Frederick area, right?
No,
Is
no,
that
no,
Is
no,
that
no.
70 area?
It's
Bowie.
Mill- it's-
Going towards
it's-
Bowie.
Yeah, it's
Bowie,
actually
Overton.
Millersville.
Overton.
It's
You
like
know, Fort Meade.
it's like Glen Burnie, then Pasadena, then
She close to
Millersville.
the, she
Judah
close.
Baker, Coast Annapolis going that
Yeah.
way.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Okay,
'Cause
my
50
family
go
is from
right up the
Eastern
street,
Shore.
50.
Oh wow.
Okay.
What part of these show? My
Graysonsville.
ex-wife is from Cambridge. I wish I'd have left her there. I wish I'd have left her there
That's
too.
messed up.
No,
Did
but
you hear what he just said about your ex-wife?
listen, I
She
grew
probably feels
up on the
it.
south side too, but I grew up on the south side with her. See, I grew up in Glen Burnie, Brooklyn, Fairfield. That's where I grew up at.
Okay.
So all the stuff she talking about, you know, we kind of know the same areas. That's why.
Oh, that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, we the south side though. She from the south side. You know, we didn't get to Cherry Hill. We scared we gonna get mugged. And we didn't live in Cherry Hill. Remember, we lived in Brooklyn.
You know, I
Right.
did not venture out toward that Cherry Hill
Wait,
area
wait.
until the Patapsco flea market opened.
Oh, the flea market.
Yeah,
down
and I was
here.
like, oh, I can shop there now. All right, they got something I can do. Other than that, no. I don't know nobody in Cherry Hill.
Not Cherry Hill, because I went to school with so many people in Cherry Hill, so it was easy for me. But they didn't like us because we were too country for them.
Oh, okay.
So Cherry Hill was slicker than East Baltimore. Hello? I mean, when I say slick, they think they can dress, they think they have the best houses, got the best car.
I don't know because
got
I don't know
one movie that
anybody
cost
from
30 cents to get it back.
Wow.
I don't know anybody from Trey Hill, so I can't comment. I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's how Cherry it was. I'm from that era of East Side, West Side, that crazy mess. And,
so, question, I'm cutting you off. I'm
Sure.
sorry. What do you think about the times and it's changing when it comes to, as far as black and white issues? So, me and my husband are heavy into listening to Claude Anderson.
Okay.
We listen to Dick Gregory.
Okay.
We listen to a myriad of people because we want to get different people's perception on how it really was back then.
Sure.
Do you think we were better off in the Martin Luther King area if he had been preaching separate but equal and not this integration into segregation? What you think?
I think integration into segregation. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
I could have been very easily being militant. I told the story last week when I was here. 3 deaths was in my life you'll never forget. The boy next door, my uncle from North Carolina, and you ready for this? And Dr. Martin Luther King, all in 1 week.
Okay.
So the reason why I think the integration is better because I would have been militant at this point, and I don't want to be militant. I can't love Christ and be militant. You got to love everybody.
Okay.
You can add it up any way you want. But the point I'm making is this here. You got black folks that is not straight up with you. I'm trying to keep it to the real. And so we can't judge people. You have to get to know people.
Yes,
You understand? And I've been around the world. Sometimes, I'm going to be real, I've been everywhere from London to Germany to Italy to Saudi Arabia. Wait a minute, let's go to the United States, Idaho, Oregon. Blacks ain't never been there. You see what I'm saying? So I have to, Iowa. I remember I stepped on the plane, I saw one brother, I like lost my mind.
Right.
Hey, brother, you must have got lost.
Right. How you end up here?
How you up exactly? So the point is, we gotta grow. And that's what I look in life for us as people. And listen, we can have our own coalitions on anything we want to do, but you also got to accept the world because we're going to have to deal with the world.
Okay.
We ain't going to get around with Donald Trump. We're not going to get around him.
Right.
You understand? You know the way
we got to learn how to deal with him.
You got to learn how to deal with him.
Head on.
Because realistically, he ain't going to be here long.
So I got a question. I've been watching like Malcolm X for the past 2 days. I watched it before, but you know how you watch a movie and then you see it again and you see more in depth of what's going on. So, do y'all think that we really all the way free?
No.
Or we still?
No. Absolutely not.
I want to know. Make your opinion, because I want to hear her opinion on what you just said.
Okay. All right.
No. You brought it up.
Oh. I absolutely think that we are not, because I feel like we still don't have all the rights of everybody else. Well, white people.
Tell me what you want.
Say.
Tell me what you want.
You want fight?
No, you ain't in Clinton anymore.
I'm not scared of it.
That's right.
We know you ain't scared. But no, I want to hear Stacey's opinion of what you just asked. Now, she's talking about being free, being from, we came from the 60s and now we are 2019 to 2020. Do you think are we on an even playing field?
No.
That's a good one.
No.
Right.
No. So this is what I think, and these are just my opinions. From just listening to, I don't want to listen to one religion. If that makes sense to you.
Sure.
So I want to take stuff that I know from different religions, put them together on what I think is a good idea on how I should live, and then apply them to different situations. So here's what I think about, first and foremost, Martin Luther King. Back in the day, black people owned their own neighborhoods. So they owned the corner store, they owned the church, they owned the bank, they owned the schools. Black people own stuff. That's what provides generational wealth. That's what provides a community that is able to stand. Why do you think all these Chinese people got a corner store on every corner in a black community? It's not because we don't have money. It's because we don't manage the money that we have correctly. So As far as Martin Luther King, I don't think he should have been fighting to segregate us, to make us fit in with white people. I think he should have been fighting to have everything stay separate, but we have the same equal.
Okay.
So if y'all own bikes, we should be able to own bikes.
I just want to jump in on that.
All right.
Because, listen, and especially, it's good that you're talking about the past. That's gone. We got to go forward.
But in order to go forward, you got to know what happened in the past. Because the same way they bamboozled them niggas in the past is the same way they trying to bamboozle us now. We ain't learned from the past.
Okay.
The white man has learned from the past because they doing studies on us. What did we do to them back then? We can do it to them now. Yes.
I got you, soul sister. I got you. There's nothing wrong with your opinion because we all
right.
Absolutely. That's your opinion. I'm just talking about from the wisdom that I accumulated. I would rather have us know than not know. What that means is this here, okay, I'm not going to separate if I'm a businessman where I make my money. Because I've been around the world and I've seen success. Because sometimes we in this melting pot called Baltimore, you get stagnant. You know, all you see is what you see. What I'm saying is, we don't want to limit the money we're going to make.
Oh, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm
just trying to make a point of going forward.
I feel like we are limited to the money that we're going to make. I feel like the society is now set up for us not to overachieve.
There you go.
So we're not going to never be able to make a lot of money. So even if you see a black person that has a lot of money, it's a white person in that pot that's making even more money than he is making off of that black person.
I'm not saying it's not. I want to get this straight so we'll be clear. I'm not saying it's not fair. It's not fair. Come on.
Life ain't fair. We get that.
Well, let me ask you a question. Let's kind of just let's break it down a little bit. On your job, because you checking in. Are you happy with the situations on your job with blacks and the minorities, or the whites and the minorities?
So here's the thing.
Sure.
I'm a rebel for the cause.
Okay.
On my job, when I first started working there was a person of not black descent who was in charge. And they ran it the way they ran it. Strict. If they didn't like stuff, it didn't even have to be the rules. If they didn't like it, it wasn't getting done. If they don't like Christmas, you ain't decorating. That's not in the manual. But they had people so scared to say something like, hey, you can't do that.
Right.
Because black people have been taught that white people right, and that when you at a job, you're supposed to listen to what they say and you're not supposed to buck at the system. So when I come along, me and my chipper self, I decorated my whole office. I did not know.
Okay.
Because that's what I do everywhere, every job I've ever had for 20 years.
Right.
I work for corporate America. I work for the government. I've always decorated my office until somebody came to me and said, hey, she does not like decorations. We are not allowed to decorate in here. I said,
They told you all about that?
Yes. I said, where's it written that I can't decorate?
That's what I want, the real. Come on.
Where's it written?
Right.
Where's an administrative manual written that I can't decorate? They said, well, you can't answer that because it ain't in there already ready.
Listen, so you know my history. I managed and supervised for ITT. I did it for 5 years. And the reason why I'm asking you these questions is because those are the things that wanted me to run my own business.
Exactly.
I don't need you to tell me how to get up in the morning. You understand? And I do get all these things you're dealing. That's why as a comedian now, I ain't worked for nobody since 1986. I'm not rich, but I'm not complaining. You understand? Because I know how my money rolls. I know where. And listen, long story short, I even crossed the fence dealing with mainstream. I use them for an example. I'd rather go back black because I know what we're going to get here. You understand? So I want to let people know it's comfortable. I mean, come on. My whole business, look, my business ain't to Vegas now. My business is in the Virgin Islands. You see what I'm saying? So my network is not changed. It's no different with mainstream. They can deal with each other. Sally and Bob can say something, we ain't know what the crap they talking about. You understand? Because they think we so illiterate, we don't get it.
You'll never forget my first real job. When I turned 21, I went to be a CO. I didn't even want to be a CO. I went to take the test. I went to take somebody to take the test, and so they was like, it's 2 hours, you might as well take the test. I got the job, they didn't. And then, so that's when I figured out I didn't want a 9-to-5 job. I worked for the state for 5 years. And I was young going in there. So, it was a lot of people that didn't like me because they older than me. They didn't want me to tell them what to do. But really, when you work in a system like that, you like an inmate too, because you stuck in there. The first time I went to go home, and I'm at the gate, and they wouldn't let me out. They said, Brooks, report to post 27. You're not going home. Right. And guess what? I couldn't go home. Because it's just so many rules and regulations with that. But you really a slave in there, like real talk. Really a slave in there.
Well, one of the things, another thing, I have to keep it real.
You got to put fires out. You are the fireman. You are the doctor. You are the
emotional support dog.
You are the counselor.
You know how many people come in my
everything.
office? Oh, I need to talk to you. I need advice on. I need to know. You make $100,000. I make $40,000. Why am I telling you how to do your damn job?
They put you in dangerous situations. Like if somebody comes in there with the chicken pox or anything, like
I see something
they send you home
with you. I'm trying to pump them brakes for a little bit. I love this girl, but baby, you sound like where I've been. See, the point I'm making is, and even when I work, that's why I stay focused with comedy. I have control over that. See, I don't have control of somebody, saying you're late or you're not getting this done. And I'm a disciplined person. I don't like being late for nothing. That's that's the way I was raised. But my whole point is, I feel so much in what you're saying, Stacy, that's happening now.
Yes.
I just feel that. And see, this ain't by accident. See, the Spirit put us together for a reason. Because I want to hear this. Like I told you earlier, we can handle any conversation. Let's talk about it.
There you go.
Because you ain't the only one going through that.
Yep.
You feel what I mean? So I'm glad you're here, girl.
I'm glad I'm
yes.
Hey, look,
we out.
But look, ain't that what we talk about every week? We always get an element of surprise. You've been a surprise every week. It's been something, and we don't need. Oh God, don't tell me to finish. Don't tell me the bill is due. I'm doing too much with that phone. I ain't supposed to be doing. You just want to get that damn hair in there.
Right. Thank you.
What was that?
Miss Maymel. She said, "I'm so proud of Barbie Brooks." I love Miss Maymel.
Tell her you're gonna be at the rehearsal.
I'm gonna be at the rehearsal.
Next week she's gonna be at the rehearsal.
Next week I'll be in the building. I cannot wait.
Let somebody not show up.
I'm in there. I'm bringing all my wigs. So every part. Even my Fred Sanford wig.
Yeah.
I'm bringing
it. You're gonna take my big dummy ass. I got Ashley there trying to take my wig. Now you want to take my job too. Oh my goodness. No, but that's okay. The key to being a professional is showing up. That's half the battle right there. Just show up on time.
With a good attitude.
Oh my goodness. Come on, now you're a boss. You already know how they go. And I try to use my wisdom, but also use my skills of the Lord to humble me, so I don't blow up like I used to. Oh, I would go off. I was so scared when I went off. I was so scared of myself.
No, I understand.
Hey, Clint, you seen me go off before, haven't you? Yeah. No, I tell you,
I seen you go up.
No, you ain't seen me go.
His vein in his neck. You go all the way to his forehead.
What is that, Clint?
You must got beat up too.
No.
Tell it, Clint.
Every beating there's a run. I know how to run.
That's why you be in the gym.
I got me.
Working them legs out. Legs strong as I don't know what. Arms is small.
Legs looking like drums.
At least I don't sit in the back of a car.
Who, me?
You don't know what that is, do you?
I sleep in the back of the car.
The bobblehead.
I be laying
down. Do you hear like that?
No.
Come on, do you hear like Oh, wait a collar. Don't get cute all the time. You want that preteen stink. Come on, girl. You don't get no stink on me. I'll call you out.
I'll call you out too. Put your feet up. You got tennis shoes with that.
I know they're sweating to you. They're sweating to you. I'm glad you don't smell them. We was in rehearsal. Somebody's feet kicked last night.
Are you serious?
Listen, because
you know
huh?
Through that shoes?
No, because we had to take our shoes off.
Oh, I was going to say, whoa, wait a minute. Them feet stink through your shoes. That's a whole nother level of stink.
You know the weirdest part, they stink so bad, you be thinking, is that my feet?
Right?
Oh my.
So wait a minute. Now that we on the topic of clean and dirty, I had a conversation. Are you single or married? I'm asking.
Single.
You single or married? All right. So I guess I'm the only married person here.
Right now.
Right.
Right. So I had a conversation conversation with one of my single girlfriends who are dating.
Okay.
And she is having a problem with our Baltimore men and not being clean.
That is a big problem.
Really?
It is.
When
You haven't never seen my comedy, but one of my jokes is about like, don't.
Say it.
I'm already laughing.
I'm tired of being bent over and smelling feet.
Okay.
Don't just wash your balls off before you have sex with me.
I'm gonna need you to hit everything. You don't know where I'm fit to be.
Everything. And then what about this? You know the position where they hold on to the wall?
Right.
And the underarms you start smelling underarms. Oh. It's over. It's all over.
All right, so okay. All right, so the conversation was she met a guy. Okay. He looked awesome on the outside. He was dressed immaculate, good manners, shape up. Every time she sees him, he decked to the nine, fresh kicks. Got him home, and them drawers and socks and dirt behind his ears.
You didn't tell me he worked for Amtrak.
And these is 30 and over. These ain't no young.
Woo.
These ain't no young ones.
You know what happened to me? One time. I was very, very interesting. So, you know how I like to talk to people for a very long time. And they appeared to be very, very clean. So then, after a while of dating and everything, they stayed with me for a week. No toothbrush.
Oh, what?
Baltimore. Y'all not brushing your teeth.
No, they not.
And then you wonder why you don't have none.
And you smoking weed and
too
drinking.
Too much weed. Too much drink.
Yeah, now I got to smell your stink.
So, long story short, I had to tell Ricky he had to go home because
you know what?
That's cold. That's cold. These are just jokes.
It's comedy.
Comedy. Talking about a cigarette breath. Whoa, that wasn't going to nicotine to bring it out.
Yeah, nicotine will bring out the worst in your throat. They really will.
That's why.
Like, are you smoking it? Are you smoking the tobacco or chewing it?
That's what we
or
like.
are you growing it in your damn pocket?
Let me see if I got one left. Oh, bam! No, they look like this for me.
Right.
Shit, I got bad teeth in my mouth. You want to stop some traffic? Stand in the traffic with bad teeth. My goodness, the worst feeling in the world. But so you've been married for how long though?
I have been married. I got married in 2008, so I've been married for 11 years.
Oh, wow.
I've been knowing him for 13 years. We've been married we've been rocking and rolling for a minute.
But so y'all went to school together, I'm assuming. Is that, you said that long?
I'm old.
Is that old girl? You ain't even 50, right?
I'm 42.
Oh, girl.
That is not old.
No, I'm not. I'm saying,
shout out to all my 42-year-old friends.
But 11 years ago, I wouldn't have been in high school. Shit, I've been out of high school for 25 years.
Yeah, but that's not old still.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying I'm old, but no, I wasn't young when I got married.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't that young, you know.
Right.
I was 30.
So you were 30 when you had the first child?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And I got married.
Got it in before it got finished, huh?
Yeah, no, I'm lying.
No,
I'm lying. My first child was a bastard. We already had that conversation. I already told her.
Your first child was a bastard.
There you go. The second one, he was all good. So I got pregnant, we got married, and then, we had the rest of them. Mm-hmm.
That's all right. So married life is good to you.
Married life is awesome
Tell
to me.
the truth.
No, I'm going to keep it 100. I'm going to keep it 100.
I won't ask you if you don't tell the truth.
Yeah, no. Married life is awesome, but married life is work.
Sure.
You have to work your ass off to make sure that somebody else is not in their feelings or feel a certain way about everything that you do. Okay. So the struggle is going from I've been single till I was 30.
Right.
I met my husband, I got pregnant, we got married. So in the blink of an eye, I went from fuckholes get money to you ain't fucking no hoes. And the only money you getting is with this nigga. So it was an adjustment.
Was that in writing?
It was an adjustment.
I don't know such things. You cutting dry.
You know what I don't like about a relationship? I don't like sharing my room. You know, you have your room all to yourself and everything all laid out, and then it's
an adjustment
stuff.
too. Yeah, that
Then you gotta clean it up. The guys always expect you to clean it up, so.
I ain't even gonna answer that. Y'all not double teaming me.
You see how we looking like? Well,
I know.
What you
I know.
What you finna say?
And fellas, I'm not representing these women crazy.
a Capricorn, and then right after Capricorn season is Aquarius season, so you ain't right. These the first two signs of the year.
I was not thinking about that.
There you go.
I got a Capricorn
And Aquarius.
Yes,
and I'm
indeed.
5 down the road.
Yes,
you go.
you're late.
But you don't want
Rickey
to
come lately.
I'm trying to tell you.
Rickey come lately.
Rickey come lately.
You know we're gonna take care of you.
Taurus-
Pops.
Taurus-
Pops. We gotta take care of
Don't
Pops.
call me Pop.
Tauruses are
I'm gonna let you red fox on it. You gonna call me
Tauruses are sensitive, and then he's of red tone, so I know he's a little sensitive.
Yeah, we're not sensitive. We like respect. That's why. That's the
But you
difference.
that's something that's earned. You can't just give somebody some respect.
Well, you respect
You can't just
anybody,
get at
but
them.
you respect anybody you don't know. That don't make sense. How you gonna disrespect somebody you don't know? Come on now.
Y'all disrespectful though. Tauruses just think they want no word.
We do.
Yes, no.
I'm sorry, Stacey.
Every Taurus I know, my kid's father, the last 3.
He's a Taurus too?
He's a Taurus, and I
Oh, wow.
cannot stand his life.
Oh, snap.
His mother should have aborted him twice.
She should have swallowed.
Swallowed,
Okay.
goggled, all the spit it.
Y'all ain't right on here.
Okay.
You never should have swallowed the
I don't like
kid.
him.
Honey, I swallowed the kid.
I don't like
And he just wants so much respect for what?
Well,
I'm the dude in this. I'm the father. I'm the
saying.
mother and the father. You want respect as what?
Well, that's a different situation, okay?
Right.
But I'll say with me as a Taurus, the Taurus are challenging people. We like a challenge.
Yes.
We like a challenge,
Remedial.
And we like to win. We don't like
Definitely.
losing. Not saying that we're sore losers, but
Definitely don't like to
we're so
lose.
disciplined that we don't like losing.
And I'm
because-
so tough.
because
I'm
we-
hanging
but
in there
but
with
we're
you.
also talented. We're talented. Don't
I
forget.
don't know about that. Well, I can say that because if he got 3 kids already, he's talented at something.
I ain't got no 3 kids. Hold on, I got 1. No, wait a minute. 1 and done. My daughter,
only got one
my
child?
daughter older than you.
You only got one child?
1 child, 40 years in the business. Because I'm a businessman. I'm not out there trying to make babies and trying to find out what a mama is.
Wow.
I don't want to be on Maury. I'd rather watch Maury. I don't want to be on
I don't
it.
even want to watch it. Ain't
Yeah.
got time for that ratchet.
So, it's funny that you mentioned that too. What was that boy's name? One of the rappers, can't remember his name, old school, he mentioned about how Maury was almost degrading to black people. And those are subjects we need to talk about.
Absolutely.
Everybody's
Absolutely.
not up. I look at it as jokes to me. I'm a comedian. I'm a true comedian. I find funny out of
It's
anything.
I can't
It's
say
entertaining.
that.
That's
You know
all.
why? Because I
Right.
went on a TV show. Something
Oh, tell
like
me
that.
what, she went on a TV show.
I went on paternity court.
She went on paternity court. It's online.
You can find it. Brooks versus Page
Look at the way
paternity
Stacey
court.
look. Turn around the way Stacey looks.
We had the top rated show in
Get your
2016.
faces in there. Tell them that
It's
again.
there. Brooks versus Page is there. And notice, wait a minute,
That's
but
right.
notice
That's
the
right.
caption, Brooks versus Page. That means I took his ass to paternity
Okay.
court.
Okay.
It was so entertaining. I was blown
It
away.
was. It was very entertaining. And everybody who's seen it, and they said that I carried it very, very well. You know what I'm saying? I was,
wait,
I
so
was
it
in his
was
ass.
real? It was real? It was a real court
I mean,
case?
we did a real paternity court. Yeah, we
It was
did a
real
real
paternity
paternity
court.
court.
Oh, wait, paternity. My light just went off. I was slow busting. So, wait. Okay. I've never watched the show before. So, you basically going on there to prove that somebody is the father.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. But he was debating that he wasn't.
Yes.
So, what happened?
So when we first went on there, his mother was the one like, I don't really know her.
It's always
He know.
somebody's
It's
mother.
always the mother.
You wasn't
I didn't even
there
have the
when
baby
I was
yet.
slobbing it.
But
Come on.
it's so crazy because I was still pregnant when she said that. So I
were
called the
pregnant on the
show.
show?
No, I had him already, but I called when I first called the show, and I called
Right.
Maury too. Maury accepted
you
me
to
on
do in
there
that
too, right? But I didn't go to Maury because they was in Connecticut. It was cold. I was like, probably not going there. I don't like cold weather. So, but Maury actually pays more. Maury pays $2,000 and some dollars if you go in there.
Oh.
So that's why, you were talking about they degrading black people. They pay these black people
To degrade them.
to degrade them.
Okay.
I don't really feel like that because
No.
you go on there. Like me, if you're not sure that he's not the father, that's probably not the place you want to be.
There you go. run off the stage and go in the back and fall out on the floor.
You probably don't want to go there.
Now, I expected that from Jerry Springer. I expected that setup plot.
Right.
Okay.
But you just blew me away with Maury. Now, I'm telling you,
I
I'm
didn't
a
know.
faithful look. Why I watch him every day.
Yeah, you get. But just think about it. Like, of course he's going to pay more. Like when I tell people that, they like, of course he's going to pay more because look at his show ratings. It's off the chain. But Laura Lakes is fairly new. You know what I'm saying? She only been around for like 4 years. He's been there forever.
But here's the problem with it. Have you ever really met somebody other than you that's been on one of them shows?
I have. I met somebody who was on Jerry Springer. My close girlfriend, the one who has her FedEx truck, and that's my sorority sister. Shout out to Solo. She was on Jerry Springer. If you go back and look up, my boyfriend is a woman. That's her. And she fought on there like so many times. Like she beat up an audience member and all that. Like that show is off the chain.
Wait, my boyfriend is a
woman.
She didn't know he was a woman before, or he was secretly
She
a woman?
was the woman that was the boyfriend. Yes, she's married. She's married to a woman.
No, back it up.
What? She was the boyfriend that was really a woman in real life that slept with the sister.
No. How was she the boyfriend that was a? I'm so lost.
So
it's not clicking yet.
She had a girlfriend that thought she was a man.
Oh, her girlfriend thought she was a man.
Right.
Okay. All right. Now we getting it there.
So yeah.
So you got to string me along with this one because I was so fucking lost. I was like, wait.
It's actually crazy because I was just watching that today before. I was just watching that today before it went on because her birthday just passed and we was just over my house and we had a little birthday party. It was so fun. We sung karaoke. We had a good time. So today I thought about that and I went back on there and watched it again. That's how entertaining that is. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, I guess
both of us has been on like 3 shows. Right.
Who been on 3 shows?
She has, and I have 2.
You've been on 3 different shows. What's the other 2?
I went on Wendy Williams.
She went on.
And Wendy Williams actually asked me to come back. I have all the information, everything, but I had to go back because it's a segment called Judge Wendy. Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
Okay, so I was telling Wendy when you're there, you can talk to Wendy and she'll ask you questions. You can ask her questions, whatever. And I actually asked her after the show because I had my red hair and red on everything, and I actually stood out, so I got to talk to her. Wow. So I asked her about my mom. I'm like, my mom lives with me, and I was telling her about the stuff that my mom did. Like my mother really, I came home and my whole furniture was changed. She's like, oh, I didn't like that, but it's my house, it's my furniture, it's gone, because she decided she didn't like that. She be trying to tell me what to wear with my hair. She be picking out my clothes sometimes. Like, don't you have a show tonight? You should wear this. Mom, stay out like, really? Like really. So, she even got my son calling her mom. You know what I mean? And so I was talking to Wendy about these issues. So she was like, would you like to come on my Judge Wendy segment? And we were supposed to go that next, I was there on the Thursday, so she wanted us to come the next Wednesday to spend the night. Sure. We would have been on the show that Thursday. But my mom wouldn't go. I almost put it out. you messing with my career.
Yeah.
You messing with my career.
You're right.
So we didn't get the guy. But you know what? They called me back. It's a guy named Patrick. He's actually one of the producers, and he called me back. He called me back actually 3 times because he said my personality, and you know what I'm saying. And then we had to do a video. We went through all the motions, sent them videos and all this stuff like that.
And then she bailed on you.
She would not go.
This girl is a go-getter.
Yeah.
I'm
in love already.
Why do you think she's sitting there?
I didn't know.
Well, that's why we invited you.
Yeah,
and
I like it.
I know because we have chemistry. See, we know not to step on each other, but she was good friends with Kate Swift.
Yes, that was my best friend.
Okay.
And also,
I got a Kate Swift story. I got a Kate Swift story, and every time somebody bring her name up and how sweet she was, I'll be like,
she definitely was.
She probably had to know you because she wasn't sweet to me when I met her. It was only one time.
That was just like Sheila Dixon with me, but go ahead.
I love Sheila Dixon.
You
know what? My first radio show.
Let's do that face together.
My first radio show, I got Sheila Dixon to come and do radio with us. Yes.
Was that when she was in office or out of office?
She was running again, actually.
Was that she running again?
She is.
She is running. I don't know if I'm...
All right, so I have
one of my co-workers, this was years ago, one of my co-workers, I was working at Blue Cross and Blue Shield, they won tickets on the radio to a concert.
Okay.
She could not make it. She called the radio station and said, hey, I'm going to send my good friend down there to pick up the tickets for me. I can't make
Right.
it. So that's what I did. You need to bring your ID. There'll be somebody at the front desk. This is when they were downtown, 92Q. I go in. There's a person at the I'm staying at the little booth when you first walk in. So I'm here to pick up tickets for such and such and such and such.
Right.
She takes one look at me and says, "You look like an Owen Smells chick."
Oh,
Bitch, I'm from Pop. Oh. See, you don't know where people come from. Just because I look like this don't mean I won't get with your ass.
Yeah, she can go
So that first meeting was just a little. I didn't like that.
First impressions, man.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
But see, that's why, we got to take people as individuals. Add it up any way you want it. But I respect people that I get to know, not people that I think I know. Because you don't know them.
You never know nobody until you sleep with them.
Swift was all the way human.
You went all the way into the bedroom.
Swift was all the way human.
Absolutely.
So 100%. So she's all the way light skinned too. And you know how they are.
Oh God, man, I ain't light skinned.
But to know her is to love her. Like I would never ever in life have another best friend like her. So one day we was going out. And she always wanted me to go out with her because I was the life of the party. So she like, you gotta go. I'm like, I'm not gonna go. I gotta find these kids something to eat. It's one of those days, end of the month, no food. I'm like, I gotta get these kids something to eat. So she was like, don't worry, I got you. Came over there with the grocery store in her truck. Not just one meal, but a whole refrigerator full of stuff. From waters to cereal to milk to sugar, everything.
Okay.
Go ahead, keep talking.
I mean,
I get it. No, I get it. Like I said,
ugly.
some people you gotta meet to get to the sweet side.
Right.
That was just a first impression, and that was probably you meet 1,000 people. So I don't hold it against her.
Right.
That was my story. That was my case story.
It was one time that we all did something for her birthday, and we was ready to sing happy birthday or whatever. She ain't like on the spot and all that little stuff like that. So we was like I'm holding the cake, and we like happy birthday. She's like no, and cut everything off.
She was controlling. The word is controlling. She was very controlling.
But I mean, she started out at 10 years old and became a star for real, like a celebrity.
So how old was she when she passed? So how old was she?
She was about 30. No.
She was early 30s, wasn't she?
Yeah.
But she was very young. But and I go way back with a lot of
36.
92Q and also
No,
3, Frank Ski and all these guys. And
32. I gotta really sit back and
the
think.
brain freeze is gonna take you long to figure out how old she was.
You don't understand. That's like when that happened for like 2 years, I was just like totally shut down.
You shut down after
what?
she passed.
I mean, can you imagine hanging with somebody every day, talking to somebody every day, doing everything with a person, and all of a sudden they gone? Right. You look at them like that's you, because it could have been you. I was there at that party. That could have been me right there. And then it was a life-changing experience, like to have somebody that totally have your back, totally genuinely love you, and then they gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I just kept on thinking to myself, like, out of all the people that I met in my life, and I didn't have to meet her. I didn't have to be her best friend. So why bring her into my life? And then now she's gone. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
No,
so I went through a lot with that.
Wow.
So I try to push it away just so I can. It's even hard for me to swim. I have a friend named Betty. Shout out to Betty. She has a big pool in her backyard. Like, you should see how I act. And I didn't even notice that until we were just talking about us being at the pool. Me and Letitia was talking about us being at the pool. And how I wouldn't get in. And I put my feet in there, then I backed off and all that, but I never would get in. But I'd be suited and booted with my little bikini on and all that. But I'm not getting all the way in that water.
But you know what? That's going to help somebody. Somebody, from you telling your story and how you got through it, and it took you 2 years to get through it. Nobody can tell you how long you should grieve for your loved ones. So that's going to help somebody out there that's going through the same thing.
Right. I was a whole mess. Like, people used to call me like, so I heard Swift died. And at first I'd be like, yeah, she got Why
would people do that? Why do people do that?
Because
do that?
When people know you know somebody,
I don't care. Don't call me and ask me what happened. You wait till I post it on Facebook.
It was so many stories about what was going on and so much stuff that was going on. Everybody really wanted to know the real story. And I really did have the real story.
Yeah, but don't nobody need to know the real story right then and there. You can get the real story later on. Let me grieve and by myself however I need to grieve.
But you blocked them out anyway, right? You
definitely did.
Right.
But you know, she's the reason why I do comedy. because she always told me that. Like, she called me lady. She said, lady, you need to do comedy. Like, you funny. And me and her was going back and forth. That's how we became best friends. Because, you know, all of us was rider girls. We pulled her into the riders. We actually was riders before she even became part. Right. But she did make us to that next level. So, when that happened, like, me and her was going back and forth because she was like, saying something to me like, you buying that $4 hot chocolate. Your skinny ass need to get some food. So I went back at her for real, like, you don't need to eat shit, for real, you know, because, you know, she's big mother. You don't need to eat shit, but you need to pay for everybody else's food.
So we cuss down, we on YouTube only.
Right. I wasn't supposed to be cussing before.
I'm going to put your ass up.
You fucked up.
That will be deleted.
My bad.
Don't delete it.
There go my church gigs.
Right. They understand.
Just put the caption. It ain't
but you
my
notice
fault.
I didn't cuss.
Right.
Me neither.
You can blame it on me.
He said ass last week, though. You said ass last week.
Who don't want some ass? We on YouTube now. I'm trying to get us paid.
Right.
And
right.
we this is for no kids. So.
Oh, great. That's great.
Yeah, 18 and over.
It's an adult, so they go on it. You enter it with your own risk.
So how y'all feel about mixing God and worldly stuff?
Well, I'm on that straddling the fences, they call it, you know, worldly. And I do churches, but I also do secular. So, you know, listen, God gave me the talent. That's how I look at it.
Okay.
So, and I don't judge people, but don't judge me.
There you go.
But I do sit at the door at the church.
Okay.
In case I change my mind.
Girl, all I'm saying is you need to watch my show because I have
This is dirty
jokes
dirty body.
about the church. In there.
Y'all missed me.
And I tell everybody they're going to hell with me before I leave the stage.
Because we all laughing.
Yes.
So here's the thing. I have an idea
no.
how I want my show to start.
Okay.
Because I grew up in the church.
Okay.
Like I was
Me
that
too.
kid where Wednesday through Sunday we were in the damn church.
Right.
But Wednesday night, Thursday Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, we was still partying. But during the day we was at church. So we had an equal balance of party till you get fucking drunk and pass out and praise the Lord every day. So,
well, you know what? Listen. I'm saying because I'm a little older. Don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? God knows your heart.
I said God made me. He knew my mouth and He know the shit that I'm thinking. So
I'll give y'all a gauge now. I know her age and I know yours now. I'll give you 10 more years. All that's going to change.
Okay.
I'm just trying to tell you how this is going to go. That's because I know the passion. Yeah, I hear your passion. I know your passion, and we've been hanging for 3 months now. So the bottom line is sooner or later, that's why I don't say nothing. Them 3 DUIs I got that wasn't by no accident.
Right.
I can tell the truth now. I was drunk as hell. I was looking for a white girl in Virginia.
It's crazy. Let me tell you about my church background. So I was the one that was on the Sunday school bus. You know, my grandma used to send us.
Huh?
Do you like what we do?
I love it.
Oh no, we fun, man.
I love it.
But we want you to feel it too.
Absolutely.
My grandma used to send us to Sunday school, cuss us out before Sunday school.
Absolutely.
But she didn't go to church. And then when she did go to church, she was dating the pastor. For real, Mr. Wright. Shout out to Mr. Wright if you're still living.
You cannot say shout out to Mr. Wright.
Shout out to Mr. Wright if you're still living. He was having sex with my grandma. He was a sugar daddy. He used to take us out at the church every Sunday.
Listen to me.
And
if I don't tell you nothing else, and I'm talking about it because he's right there, she gonna make it. Watch what I do.
I love you all over again.
Because a story's a real.
Yes, and I love it.
Why you think she's sitting there?
I love it.
I could grab any comedian in Baltimore, but I saw something special with this one.
I like it. I like it.
No, she
make my dimple pop out. You know, only got one.
Well, always look to your right side.
That's your best side. That's your best side.
You know? No, but that's what I was sharing with you when we talk. See, there's no limitation to us. We can talk about anything.
There you go.
Politics, it don't even matter, though.
There you go.
But so you think, I want to talk about this. You think they're going to impeach Donald Trump?
I hope so.
Do you think so? What's your
Why
opinion?
are they scared to? They're so scared to impeach this man.
I don't think that they're scared. Here's what I think. I always got a conspiracy theory.
I would like to stick a banana in his ass. They don't want to peach him bananas.
How you know it ain't already? already stuffed up his ass. He
been
look
up
like
there.
he might like
I
it.
mean, he got the
You don't
same
get a
hair
messed
as
up
me.
haircut like that for nothing.
That's
I
a
think
That's
he
what the
might
man
like. That's why
does.
he's so disrespectful to women.
Everybody does.
Because he is one.
Yeah, there you go.
He is one.
People that want to be like us, they hate us.
That's true.
Because the fags definitely don't like. I'm sorry.
Not all of them. Some of them like
because
us.
I love gay men, but some gay men don't like us women because they say that we're taking their men. But
what?
and you know that you know why they also sex trafficking? They not only sex trafficking just to sell us to men. They're sex trafficking to take our organs so that the guys can now have babies. It's serious. It's serious out here. So I don't have nothing against the LGBT community. I'm straddling that fence right now.
Don't straddle the fence. Just go over.
I've been over.
I say yeah. Just do
I've been
it.
over.
And be okay with it.
She's just like a tennis ball
No.
without the balls.
See, I was messing with females, and females started to make me sick.
Right.
So I got on this medicine called tricoxidine. Tricoxidine.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, I said that last week here at when we was here with Billy.
Well, one of the things, so you can be enlightened, I'm trying to help her go clean when she's dirty as hell. Okay.
Why would you go clean? Why would you?
Listen, don't be misled. I'm not saying for her to go clean. What I'm saying is know every type of audience, whether it's mainstream, black.
Okay.
You can do your dirty, but there's a time and place for every
money.
show.
You know what I mean?
There you go.
Clean money.
Not the all
I'll take
money.
the clean money, you know.
Because that's the problem. That's the problem Monique had. I went to the show actually when she was at the Comedy Factory. I swear, true story. This girl was out there just cussing Monique out because she thought she was going to see the Parkers. I said, honey, that's not the Parker. That's Monique for real up there. That's a Baltimore breed.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? She was really upset. She walked. 4 or 5 people walked out, but I understood because I knew Monique's act.
Right.
You know, and she did it the other night. You go online, she just cussed somebody out the other night about relationships and blah, 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 whatever. But the point is, don't get mixed up with the stuff. You want the element of surprise. You want them to think you this way, then when they see you, it's called shock therapy, okay? You know, so that's just what comedy is about. And now it's getting so sensitive now. Everybody, oh, God.
That's the other thing. So I grew up watching Eddie Murphy. Raw.
Sure.
Yes.
When you
loves
get it, you get it.
Right.
Like you say whatever the fuck you feel, and people laugh.
That's what I grew up on.
So I grew up with that. So
Richard
now as an
Pryor.
adult, when I think that I want to be a comedian or I want to be funny, like how far do you push the line where people don't get offended? Because you know everybody's offended by everything now. But I'm thinking as a comedian, you can cross that line and just go with it.
You know, you remind me of seriously Cheryl Underwood. Not far, she just that style.
Okay.
Cheryl was blue. She wanted to cuss and do all that, but now she done got them to talk. You understand? Now, she still was the element of surprise.
Yes.
Because when you go to the show, she don't do that.
Right.
Regardless of what you think she is on TV.
Right.
So, and you know, they'll have the ratings or you know, what the ratings are and all that. So all I'm saying is here, if you want to go in that direction, know your target. Know where
Target
you're going.
audience.
Yeah, you got to know your target audience, where you're going to make your money from.
Okay.
The reason why Monique is sustaining because people want to hear what she got to say.
There you go.
So she don't make money the rest of her life, whether she get TV endorsements or whatever.
Right.
So somebody wants to hear that wrong. That's it.
Right.
She was wrong. Pull up the line when she just was somewhere. He was kicking it. He didn't care. But you know, when I got when Def Jam first came, I'm using that for example. When Def Jam first came out, I was crossing over. I wanted to go to mainstream because I was coming from Seattle, Washington. I lived there 5 years, but Def Jam came. Def Jam almost killed my career.
What?
Because I couldn't cross back. In other words, I'd have crossed over.
Right.
And then I'm out. What we talked about earlier, I'm dealing with the stereotypes of white folks.
Right.
And that's when the militants started to kick back on me. Nigga, you know I'm from South Baltimore.
Right. Yes. I will get with you.
Don't let this country boy fool your ass. I ride a roller coaster up your ass. But I'm just saying.
The saying in my family is, when you get to a point where people test you, ain't no bitch in my blood. I tell people all the time.
Yeah, but I see that in you, and I like that you open it up and you speak in your mind because you sound like me back in 1978, 79 when I had to prove myself.
I know. Long time.
You wasn't even born.
I was one.
I just wanted to be.
You had to because my daughter was 3. She was 3. I guess Yes, she was. But the point is, you know, that's okay to speak your mind, but also develop your own business.
Oh yeah.
That's your way out.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta own some stuff.
You gotta own some stuff. You better own something, start, because they won't fire you.
My household is a business. I am the CEO of the company. Every nigga in there work for me.
As they should.
Wait a minute, tell her how many niggas in there you got working.
I have 7 children. 7.
Oh, I remember from the show.
Oh yeah, she saw you open up.
Yes. I remember from the show.
17.
Everybody need to do something.
They got to.
You got,
But she's training them though.
That's what I tell people all the time when I'm talking about my kids, because like my kids are 12 and 8,
right?
But they are disciplined at 12 and 8 because I'm not raising children. I'm raising them to be successful, motivational people in society. Yeah. So I'm not baby talking to them. I'm not going behind them and cleaning this. No, this is your routine. This is what we need to do. This is the time we need to do it. You need to act accordingly and you need to get in line. I'm not raising children. I'm raising adults.
That's why people don't understand that you have to start your kids off young. Don't have them grow up and then don't know what they want to be.
And now you want to fuss at them.
You have to learn early because, like, okay, so I have some young athletes, and the athletes know that there's certain things that they cannot do, like drugs and smoke, because you can't be an athlete like that. So when you remind them of that, and they be like, oh yeah, and that be what they gonna say when they come across that, like, oh no, I don't smoke, I'm gonna play NFL, or I'm gonna be in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So even when my daughter, she wants to be in the medical field, you know, and I always talk about how slow she is, and it's true, she's an airhead. But she's smart too at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Every right brain, left brain, that's kind of how it is, you know, you gotta explain stuff to her. But she's smart, she knows what she wanna be, and she has worked at the hospital. She worked at Sinai, and she works at Harbor Hospital 3 days a week already. You know what I'm saying? She didn't even graduate, and she's
but here's the thing too, nothing wrong with tough love, okay?
No,
because I put it on my daughter.
So Ellen, a child out.
I put
anytime, any place, I'm going to get with you. Don't you think you're going to get out in public and embarrass me? Because you don't act like this in the house.
Not at all.
You just getting some extra attention because we out in public. And you think people think it's cute.
See, but when you have 7, you learn by now. Like, I don't hang with my younger kids. They don't go nowhere unless it's kid friendly.
Okay.
And even sometimes kid friendly, they're like, you can bring your kid over. Why would I want to do that?
Once I keep talking, I'm going to go get a soda.
Okay.
And 2 cups of ice.
Deal.
I'll get you some ice cubes, Stacey.
Why I gotta get ice? Why I can't get soda?
You want some of the soda?
Yes, please, sir.
I got you, man.
Thank you.
Yes,
I appreciate it.
Hey, look,
yes, boss.
Yes, boss.
Yes, sir, boss.
But you know what? I agree with you when it comes to kids. So, my kids, like, I expect certain things out of them.
Right.
And white people, when they raising their kids, this is what they do. We are doctors. We are lawyers. Right. We have a certain way of living. We're going to raise our children in that way. Right. So we're going to put them in it. If we want them to be a doctor, we're putting them in school so that they be a doctor. Exactly. If we want them to be a lawyer, we're putting them in schools and putting them in that path so that they can be a lawyer. Exactly. We as black people let our children grow up any kind of way and then expect them to be doctors and lawyers when they turn 18.
It's not all our fault though, because society has set it up for us like that, and then they want you to go to zone schools. You know what I mean? The best schools ain't always the opportunity for you. You know what I'm saying? And then they make it so hard for you to do that, and they really do make it hard. And then by us not having the best of opportunities, and then our parents had it even worse.
You're right.
So now we're trying to catch up. Our parents didn't leave us nothing. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Like, our parents don't help us. They're like, oh, you want to have kids, do you? You're on your own. And so it's not so easy for us to do it when they all stick together. That's why when they say that a person is racist, now in the sense of, I feel like that's okay, but you shouldn't be racist where as though you hate other races. That's wrong. But racist person where as though you stick with your race, I think that that's perfectly fine. Because white people do it every day and they're winning on that. Because they're going to stick together. Black people are not racist. So we're not sticking together though.
Well, so here's the thing. I've had this conversation with one of my homegirls, and I had to stand corrected. Because you can look at racism in a lot of different ways.
Right.
So she made a comment and she said, black people can't be racist.
They can, and they should.
So I was listening to, and I think it was either Dick Gregory or Claude Anderson, and when they said it, black people can't be racist because the meaning of racism is that you hold a race back financially so that they don't have any means or any ways to succeed. You actually have to own some stuff to be racist.
Right.
So if you look at it that way, okay, we'll see.
Right.
But on the other hand, black people can only be but so racist, and you can't really look at all white people as bad people because we have some allies and we have some white people that will ride for us more than black people will who got money.
Right.
So I have a good friend who is white.
Right. I have a lot of them.
And I tell her, look, when it comes to this business stuff, you know, when my black ass walk in, it ain't shutting the shit down. So I'm going to give you everything to say. I'm going to tell you everything to do. You walk in there, you get the business for me. Because they're going to look at your white face and say, oh, yeah, sure, we'll listen to you. As soon as I walk in the door, they like, nah, we busy. So I want us black people to understand, to know that every white person not against us. There are some white people that's going to ride for us till the day they die because they know how we've been slighted over time.
Right.
We have to take advantage of, thank you, sir.
Yes,
we have to take advantage of opportunities when they are presented to us, and we can't always blame white people for our shortcomings. We got to stand tall and stand in our BS to make it better so that white people can't no longer say, see, this is what I'm talking about now. Look at them.
But I'm glad
we have to stick together. We have to
Absolutely.
start sticking together.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm glad y'all talking about that sticking together stuff. That sounds nice and sounds so sweet over the air. But do we?
No, we definitely don't.
No, in some occasions we do.
Okay.
In some occasions we do.
Give me the occasion then.
I'll tell you something.
We all burned this motherfucker down for Freddie Gray. We stuck together and they made some changes. They fixed some fucking streets.
Okay.
They redid some shit so they didn't look better aesthetically. Now it might not have been better, but it looks better.
Right.
We stuck together that time.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you when I see it. And I see it all growing up and everything.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm from Anne Arundel County, and it used to be predominantly white. Now, there's a lot of black people that moved up in through there, so it's, I would say half and half now. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, they still carry it like it's predominantly white, if you ask me.
Can I throw something on top of all
Sure.
that? I'm going to throw this on top of where you at, because we came from the same area.
Right.
And that south area, meaning Annapolis, Fort Meade, Brooklyn. You always got to remember that we're on the Mason-Dixon line.
Okay.
This is stone redneck area. We in stone redneck Maryland.
Yes.
That's why, it's so hard to change things, because they still got to pick up trucks.
Yep.
You understand?
And a Confederate flag.
Listen,
Yes.
I drove to Delaware. Delaware is so close to Maryland, you can kiss it.
It is.
Okay?
Absolutely.
I saw a Confederate flag like it was waving at me. And I was driving my ass off to get away from it.
There you go.
But and I'm telling you, because, Delaware is the first state.
Right.
So the point is, the racism is still alive. It's just undercover.
All alive.
Yep.
It's just so undercover.
Let me tell you when I see it. Okay, so being from there and being down there, being young, if something happened to you and it's a white person against a black person, the black people will come outside from every single house and they're going to stick together, whether it's one white person or 12 of them. I have seen that grown up in this redneck town. That's when I really see them stick together. The white people, I don't care if it's two out there and it's against this whole neighborhood of all the black people in the neighborhood. The other white people, they're in the house, they're calling the police, but they don't stick together like at that moment in time. But the black people will. If it's a black child that's out there hurt, all the black people from that neighborhood will come and stick together against the white people.
But I'm going to go back on what we were talking about earlier about segregation and the bottom line. Was it necessary? Yes. Because think about this thing. We in 2020. If we didn't segregate, can you imagine the hate there would be a whole lot of folks still going.
It's a whole lot of folks that hate us now. We can't worry about who hate us. We got to worry about us getting to a place where we come together as a community and better ourselves so that we can provide generational wealth. We are not going to go anywhere if we don't own stuff.
And this is, in my opinion, we had a Freddie Gray, but everything just went right back to normal.
It did.
Come on, you saw some changes.
No, but the question was, when did we stick together?
That's because we had
we did stick. I agree.
We stuck together.
We have moments. We don't have whole years full of sticking together or years or none of that. We have moments. We go in the house, we talk about it, we feel good about it, and that's it.
Yeah, there you go. But we don't put it into action.
You know why? We got too many problems.
That's all I'm talking.
We got too many problems. Then we got to worry about this and that and two other. Like, it's too much.
Well, but one person can't solve the world.
That's right.
We got to rely on our counterparts, our other people who, I might be good at this.
Right,
you might be good at this.
Sure.
You might be good at this. But I can't overstep my good at and step on your toes so that you don't shine. What we don't do is we don't get to a level and then reach back and then pick up somebody else. And then the other thing is, I can't want more for you than you want for yourself.
That's right.
So if I see all the good in you and I see that, I think you can do this, I know you can do this, I'm trying to encourage you, I'm trying to motivate you, but you saying to yourself, I don't think I can do none of that shit. It does not matter how much I think you can do it.
Sure.
You gotta feel it for yourself.
I've seen so much love-hate relationships.
Yes.
What you just said, because I can tell you, we've been talking. We're go-getters. Everybody don't have that drive. Some of us rather be that lazy Susan, as they should say, and just sit back and complain instead of when they can get up and go to get their education, better themselves, have their own vision. Okay, and that's the problem with a lot of us. But I have to give the additives of why it's so bad in our community because of the drugs and alcohol too.
Yes.
The drugs that'll make.
Yes, I agree. Yes, I agree. I agree, but I agree to a certain extent. We wouldn't have got the drugs here. Ain't no black people flying planes.
Yeah, that's so stereotype. And I'm gonna chop you up when you say something like that. Because listen, I've been through drugs and alcohol. You know what I'm saying? So if I could come out of that and still go for my vision, see, You're strong.
Everybody don't have that strength to come out of a dark place and still make it. Yeah. So if you are not even, so that's just like if I know you're a fat person, I'm gonna keep putting this pie, cake, cookies on the table in front of you, knowing it's gonna tempt you. You gotta be strong enough to say no.
Yeah, but some of what I'm saying is a basic disease. They call it a disease, but. Listen, my mom and dad drink when I was young. I seen them drink. They get knocked out.
But the disease is not the drug. The disease is addiction. You gotta work on the disease of addiction because after you stop being addicted to these drugs, now you're addicted to alcohol. Now you're addicted to women. Now you're addicted.
I already know.
The disease is the addiction. It's the addiction. That's the disease, not the drugs and the alcohol.
I went through all the classes for you to tell me the right answers.
You should have came and paid me.
I know, man. That was 4 years. Because I'm telling you, I went from the drinking to the gambling. Wow. I mean, it's almost like, I got to win this money. But then I dropped away from gambling, stopped the drinking. Now my addiction is gone.
Good.
So
that's a good addiction. You know, he ain't going to start you wrong.
I tell you.
He ain't going to get you no DUIs.
You ain't got nothing from him yet. I wish he could help me with some of them bills I'm getting still from the lawyer bill. But no, we just talking about addiction, and that was heavy. Yeah.
All right, but I heard something when I was in there.
What did you hear?
About shining, and that's one of the words that is something that the sun does. And a lot of black people, that's how we get into messing up things for ourselves because it's not one person that's supposed to shine. We're supposed to shine together.
As a group.
So anybody who's in a group of people and we're trying to get to a certain goal, we're trying to rise above this stuff, and there's people that want to shine, that's how we mess up.
There you go.
Because it's not supposed to be that.
You know what I'm amazed about just listening to y'all talk? The 3 different generations that's sitting right here now. Ain't that amazing? And the opinions and see that's why I believe in sometimes shutting up and listening. Did you hear what I just said though? Mm-hmm. Shutting up and listening.
And the other thing is, we as women, men, y'all kind of stick together a little more than we do.
Yes.
Because men, I think, have that manly thing where that's my brother.
Right.
I'm gonna make sure my brother good. Usually.
I'm glad you correct that.
Right. Women, it's just like I can walk in a place and women look at me like, look at this bitch. How you know the bitch? I ain't even said nothing yet.
Okay, so you know what I think too. Also, so we was talking about the race. So when the white race has degraded us as a whole, men felt some type of way first because that's the strongest of our race, right? The men. So then men have to be on top of the women because they're not going to be degraded any further, right? So women are taught naturally that we're supposed to look up to our man, do this for a man, you know, be the underneath of the man. So we so busy loving these men that we don't love each other.
There you go.
It's even so bad that in families,
I'm about ready to mess this whole conversation
in
up.
families, the mothers look to their sons more than they look to their daughters.
Well, I'm about ready to throw a
You
wrench
don't
in this
think
whole
so?
thing.
So do you have a brother?
I do.
Is your brother the favorite of your mother, or are you the favorite?
My brother is the favorite.
Exactly. Mine.
He's the firstborn though, and we 7 years different. So she had 7 years to just chill with him, and then here I come with
That's
my
an
slick mouth.
excuse.
No.
That's an excuse.
First of all,
I think so.
I talk about this with my mother and my brother, so it's not like I'm making excuses. Like I beef with them about it, because my mother will say something and she'll be like, "Well, my brother's his nickname is Bun. Well, Bun," I'll be like, "That's your favorite." I'll be like, "So you gonna ride with him, and you're not gonna listen to me because I'm telling you something you don't fucking want to hear, and he's not gonna agree with me because now I'm talking bad about his mother." So no, I agree with you, and I get that.
My brother is 18
My
years
question
younger
to
than me.
you though, Stacey, is you don't think, especially coming about with family, I'm listening to that, you don't think that your words was valid when you say stuff? They don't, you understand what I mean?
No, I yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, I agree with you that I did not think that she took it as face value when I said it.
Right.
But then when my brother come back behind me, after I didn't talk to him, because you know he done called me like, "Mommy said, you said such and such." Yes, the fuck I said it and I meant it.
Right,
and this is why I meant it.
Right.
And then he'll be like, oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
Right.
Now then he'd go back and talk to her, and then she say, "Oh, that's what she was saying." So how the fuck you understood it when he said it, but when I've been saying this shit to you? Oh, but now you're okay.
They say they say it cannot be two queens in the same home.
I disagree with that. Me and my mother-in-law lived in a house together for years, and
it can be, but this is what we're taught, is what I'm saying. So we push our daughters out. Tell them, go eat it. Girl, you grown, so you can get out of my house.
I'm never doing that.
I'm not doing that either.
I want my kids to live with me till like 30. When you move out of my house, I want you to financially be able to buy another house, move into that house, and live, and not need another person.
That's a standard. But that's a standard. I'm listening. But what I'm saying, when we were 17, 18, it's time for you to check the watch. Because it's time for you to get the hell out. Okay?
That's how we were raised.
My mother said that's the way we were raised.
I wasn't raised like that. My mother wanted me to stay. I got out when I was 18. I was like, no,
let me tell you something.
I
couldn't wait to leave my mother. Yes. She was the type of person that she'll call me all the way in her room to turn off her light. She'll call me all the way in the room because she can't find the remote. Can you bring me something to drink? Can you make me something to eat? My mother will starve the day if I don't cook. If I don't cook, she will starve today.
But you was a
She offered me stuff. She takes sodas all the way up in her room just so she can bribe me with one. When my soda's gone, she's like, "You want a soda?" I say, "Yeah." She said, "Go get it. Go get both of us one." Like, that's the mother I had.
Right. So, but you know what? My grandmother used to do that. My grandmother, when we were little, my grandmother would holler from the top window outside. We outside running up and down the street. "Stacy, come in here and bring me a glass of water." Are you serious? Are you serious? hilarious.
That's what.
I couldn't even go outside with my grandma. My grandma said, no, you can't go outside. It's too hot. It's too hot. It's summertime.
It's supposed to be hot.
It's supposed to be hot. Everybody else outside playing. Ain't nobody sweating.
Ain't nobody passing out.
Ain't nobody passing out. They still hydrate. I'm taking this water.
That is funny. I tell her all the time, see these conversations we having? That's your act.
Absolutely.
No, seriously.
Absolutely.
You take that and listen to it, and I guarantee you'll see the funny in it. Put it on stage to say this is all, ain't nothing but material, bottom line.
And I use it.
No, but
He just haven't seen me everywhere. He's seen me.
No, she's been busy.
Places.
No, but
every time I talk, it is funny. You gonna laugh.
No, I was laughing when I saw you. That was my first time. So once I saw you, I was like,
okay, I got a good subject.
What?
And I'm glad you just said what you said. I'm clicking right now. So why is there such a hateration with women comedians with other women comedians?
I really don't.
Now you only
you always say, I'm new to the comedy
You're new
world,
to the
so
game,
right,
exactly.
I don't. But that's not how I flow anyway.
Not you, right.
I am that person when I see other women,
right.
I'm looking at them from head to toe because I'm checking them out to see how I can do whatever it is. They might got on something. It might be their hair. It might be their pants. It might be their shoes. It might be a shirt. It might be a jacket. It might be something that I'll be like, I like that. And I'm not scared to give another woman compliments. I'm always complimenting.
But this is where I'm at. Give me your experience.
Okay, so my friends, it is a lot of haters. But to their defense, I think that it's nerves. Because, you know what I'm saying, you can be nervous when you go up there. Then if you see another woman, she come up there and she looks good. You know, she got a small figure and she's confident. And she baby new. You never seen her before and she straight kill it. And you know you got maturity, you funny. And if this bitch wasn't here, you probably would be that fucking person.
Right.
Your nerves start to kick in. You feel me? Because I've seen it happen to the best of people. I'm like, bitch, what's wrong with you? Is you okay? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to go in. I don't like that bitch. Why you don't like her? She cool to me. Right. But I've seen it happen, so I think that it's more of a nerve thing, and everybody's looking at it as a competition instead of a therapy. It's a therapy to me. I love to get up there and I love to talk my shit because it makes me feel better. Because it's real. You know what I'm saying? And it's out in the open. Like some of this stuff I might want to tell my mother, but I ain't know how to tell her because she's uptight. You know, she one of the people that butt swolls together all day. That's her. You can't just talk to her about everything. She's going to be mad. You know what I mean? So, when I get up there and I say it as a joke and then it's out in the open, like, Mom, did you see my set? Bitch, that's about yeah. Okay. So it's therapy, and to get up here and talk about your kids, because I talk about my kids like a dog, and they know it. I'll be like, I can't wait to go out here tonight. I'm talking about you like a dog. It's therapy, so it's not a competition to me.
But one of the things that I'm picking up as I see you talk more and get to know you more, you just as funny without profanity. See, and I have to harp on that because you don't want to limit your success. You don't even know how funny you are. Just your
you are hilarious. I love you.
Come on now. Why do you think she's sitting here?
You are funny.
I know that. I be talking to old ladies, and you know I'm not going to disrespect the old bitches. Shout out to all the old bitches out there. But and they be laughing. They be laughing so hard at me, you know, and I had never cussed or whatever. So I don't think that. But it's just like sometimes it's a feeling. Sometimes you feel like cussing a motherfucker out. You
Some stuff ain't funny till you cuss.
A lot of times.
That's because you want to cuss too.
No. So I'm saying this in front of people.
Let me say
There's a lady that works at my job.
I was Def Jam before Def Jam. I had a dirty mouth.
No, I'm sorry. Some stuff.
I ain't talking about that way. I'm talking put that on there, I'm just joking. Steve over there trying to straighten the hair piece out. This thing don't tell how many listeners we got doing.
It was one person on there like the whole time.
One person.
Right. Hey, that's okay. We go.
Yeah.
You
it might have been my son though, because he kept texting me like, y'all petty.
Tell him all day. All we got. That's all we got. We're gonna be petty.
No, but I don't think as I'm sanctified now. Please, I'm not totally that. But, I'm a professional. I perform wherever I'm at, that's how I perform. Right. Especially if they can handle profanity, and that's what's making them laugh. See, but I'm what they call an improvisation comic.
Off subject, I'm sorry. Because when shit comes to my mind, I gotta say it. Why ever since I've been hanging with you, all these old guys have been in my inbox? I get so many old guy friend requests.
They put you on.
Did you see my post, right? Did you see my post from all day?
No.
I'm like, what is this, sugar daddy season? I mean, I had like 12.
I'm not no damn sugar daddy, first of all.
12.
Daddy, not sugar, not
12
sugar.
Fruit Brushes from the 60 and older crew. Like, I don't know what.
They was like, oh yeah, she wrong with Ricky. I know her.
So I'm messing up your reputation.
You is just like, I mean, we might look good together, like,
Right,
oh, what
right.
we doing? They see it like,
Sure.
oh, there, she look good with some old dick. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but
How would you know? Is you handsome?
no,
Well, how would you know?
I never had the slow stroke.
Girl, you slow is better than not moving at all. Because when it ain't moving at all, you got a crazy face. No, but no, there's nothing wrong with a mature man. Okay, nothing wrong with that. I
You don't
mean,
want worms, girl. You don't
oh
want
shit,
worms.
here you go.
I mean,
Worms.
that's
You done
my
said,
fault.
listen, you done said every damn thing she already done said words. She called me old on the phone. My hands start shaking like this. I'm like, I know she ain't talking about me. Oh, my
He
hands
felt some
old.
kind of way. He felt some kind of way.
You better be glad. Hello, Stacy, you still here?
See? Now if you heard her say mama fucker, it'd have been funny. Mama fucker.
Well, I was easy with that word back in the day. Girl, you ain't seen my stand. I got tapes of when I first started. So the cussing was easy because I was a Richard Pryor fan. You could tell me I was Richard Pryor. See, but as I grew into the business and learned the business, where you gonna make your bread at?
Right.
That's what it's about
There you
now.
go.
I get more work in churches than I ever expected. And plus, most of the senior churches, I fit right in with them. They got better
Is that
music.
Brother Ricky?
Oh, him going to sit down with me for a minute.
Uh-huh.
How your mama doing?
Right.
How you know my mama?
Right.
Oh, she my
Right.
age.
Oh, I know Pearly man from back in the day.
Oh my goodness.
When when an old person say after they say what they say, you know some dirt went down.
Old people do that though, but I hate to have a tissue. They like a piece of tissue. And a white didn't know, let me wipe your face.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not you put the booger on me.
Right.
Yes.
This ain't no mustache. That's what sideburn boogers on.
I haven't had my nails done in a long time, and I got them like extra long.
But what
Got my
color is
nails
that
done
there?
today.
What color is that? Is that a color?
Purple. You know,
Oh, that's a polka dot.
yeah, it's like
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
so.
The first time I seen them since you were driving, because you told me about it, I couldn't see.
So look, this is the crazy part. I was.
You couldn't get one?
My pants back buckled. So I'm sitting here
So
like a
that
fat
means your
bitch
pants
and
was
just
open?
You can't button up pants because the nail too long.
Your body ain't bigger than a fist.
Don't matter. Don't
You
matter.
can't buy them. Man, that's your That's too much. You gotta show this shit too. We really make on YouTube.
real.
Shit, all they gotta do is strip. I got $1.
For me to strip, you gonna need the double, triple,
Let me see. I keep my hand and then you leave my hand. And I said,
And I'm
yeah.
Just hold it tighter right
I
now.
quick with it.
I'm gonna choke the hell out. Yeah, I'm gonna choke the hell out of George
Yeah,
Washington.
Ricky, you ain't that old yet.
I'm not trying to tell you I'm in shape. Don't let me. Just think as I walk slow, ain't that old man again. I do that case. The young person pull me up, they ain't gonna ride. He gonna get a whip. He gonna get an ass with me. You know what I'm saying?
Remember we was talking about
Nigga
church?
just ran over me, huh?
Remember we was talking about church?
Why you so
Going
hard
Sunday
on church
school?
so much? I'm just
Because y'all got me back down memory lane. I remember my cousin, shout out to my cousin Kevin Daly. He used to be in church, and my grandma used to always give us money to put in church, but after you go to Sunday school and church, then when they take us back on the bus, they stop at the candy store. So he wanted to use his money for the candy store, so I used to tell him like, if you don't put that money in church, I'm telling Mamma. That's what I call. Shout out to my grandma. She is in heaven now. Shout out to Mamma. So she used to sit by me, and then I was wondering why every week he had to go to the bathroom after the collection plate went in. So he would sit by me, put his money in there, and go 3 rows back and get his money back out.
He was smart.
No, that sound like my sister.
I'm finna give me some candy, bitch.
My sister Brenda was the same thief. Now, she would take put a quarter in church and take $1 worth of change out. That's in my stand-up. See that? Because it was
I
funny.
can't say no.
And she was the Aquarius
Me
too.
and my homegirl used to go go to the strip club for $20, bitch. You get 10, I get 10. That's for drinks. When them strippers start going around, you're like, yeah, thinking we leave out there with $40. Bitch, you get 20, I get 20.
Y'all steal the stripper money. That's the worst I've ever heard.
Yes.
Oh, no, that is too funny. They steal the stripper.
I remember my homegirl who did that before.
Working that ding-a-ling on.
She ain't take it off of them, but you know how people be peeling out on the strippers or whatever. One day she stepped on the 20.
The 20 drop.
It's back real slow. Yeah.
Y'all got too much game. I'm gonna be alert.
It used to be hard to go out. You had to get your hair, nails done. You had an outfit. Then you still had to pay to get in the club.
And you got to pay a hat to get there.
Well, how do you feel when a stripper grabs you and make you the subject for the
do
night?
you think I'm all about
Like, so back at Choices when they used to always do the videos of it, I'm on like 1,257, 32,000 of the videos. Tyson's will tell you.
Yes.
Definitely know him from that.
Yeah, I used to hang out Choices.
Yeah, we had the upstairs.
Shout out 911. I work with him now.
Okay.
You know
911. I know him.
This is not Rickey Shackelford with these two. They dirty little dancers. They dirty dancers. I'm getting up. You're trying to wake up my Woody. You're trying to wake up my Woody Woodpecker. This was too crazy.
Yes, I love
we didn't see this coming.
Not at all. Not at all. This was a good time.
Well, that's the magic.
Who? G, who used to run
Yes.
That was Gigolo.
Yeah.
He worked at the airport.
For real? Right
When I
now?
fly out, yeah, he been out there for a minute.
Wow.
We played ball together.
Man was really tight too.
No, G's cool. That's my man. No, he got nothing but love.
Oh, yeah, we used to go to the strip shows. Did you used to go to
Share
the
West
one?
Gardens. In the building.
On Erdman. What was the place? The
That's why both of y'all
I was
crazy
going.
as hell.
I was going. Wait a minute! It's an all male strip show.
Yes.
Me and my homegirls, and we was next to a table full of old women. I said, "Ain't this about a bitch?"
And they worse than the young ones.
They was getting it. They was getting it. It had stacks of dollars.
Ready.
I said, "Oh,
Ready.
And the hell we go from
Ready.
the church to the strip hall.
well, hey, God know my heart."
No,
Should have bought a Honda.
God know you were horny. That's why.
Well, hey,
The devil didn't play. I know
he
the
made me. He knew. He knew what he made.
That too.
As long as you had fun, you know.
Absolutely.
You came out of it though. Nightclubbing was the thing though. Because I remember back in the day, they wouldn't even let you in hotels if you didn't look a certain way. You had to look a certain way. Jackie, oh no, he can't come in. They will not let you come in.
I remember.
You know, well, clubs is desperate these days.
They let anybody in. Look
The
like
numbers
anything.
not looking too good.
There you go.
You go in the club like, dang, ain't nobody here.
Right.
Why you gonna be at the club when you can look at it on live? Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's cool.
You don't have to go to the club to see what's going on there. You can look right online, like, look at it. You
No, it's whacking there. No, it's whacking there. I ain't going tonight.
That is too
I'm
funny.
good.
But we're going to wrap this up at 9 o'clock, so you don't know that, because my big time. We've got 10 more minutes to talk.
That works for me.
Yeah, that's
all right,
good,
so I had a joke earlier
You gonna
today.
tell us a joke?
Okay.
So, not really, it's not really a joke. It's a funny
tell a joke.
conversation.
Go on.
It's a funny conversation. So I was talking to this lady earlier at work, and we were talking about all the crime that's happening in Baltimore City by the young people and, this, that, and the other. So she was saying, the lady that got her purse stole, it was on Broadway, like down Fells Point earlier or whatever. And she was saying how she would afford, and the lady, it was 3 of them.
Yeah,
and I said, well, see, that's the difference, I guess, between other people and me. First of all, I got a knife, I got a stun gun, and if you catch me on the right day, I might got something for that ass. So, it's not going to go down the way you think it's fitting to go down. So these young kids are out here targeting people that they think look like it's an easy target.
Right.
So then we were talking about, and we got to talking about rape and stuff like that. So then I got to thinking to myself, I don't think a motherfucker finna rape me. First of all, I'm finna get with the program and fuck your whole head. Oh, you wanna rape me, nigga? Let's get it.
I said that before.
Because rape is not just getting the pussy.
Let me just pull my own place now, bitch. These is true religions. Let me pull this shit down for you.
Don't rip my shit. I got you.
What if they try to rip me? They got a big.
We done went around the horn.
I'm fucking back. I'm taking all the control.
Around and rape him.
There you go. I'm taking the control back. That's the point of rape, is because they want you to fight back. I ain't fighting. I'm cool with it.
More kinky. That's all.
The children's show.
Stacey said, look, rape, she says she going with the flow. So if you going to rape me, come on, you going to get some of this?
Let's get it.
What time this show over with?
It's going to be the best.
Show me what you're working with.
That's you ever raped.
There you go. And then there was a TV show about this man that was breaking in women's houses and giving them head.
Oh, shit.
And he would say, but a couple of them came. Motherfucker, if you looking at that good sneaking through the window, can you come back next Wednesday and motherfucker?
Is that women doing that too? I just want to be up.
I had a joke about that because you remember when it was guys raping bitches off the bus stop?
Yes.
And I was talking about how fat bitches was just starting to catch the bus.
What?
One of my big homegirls that don't never get no dick, she used to sit out on the bus stop waiting.
Ain't no motherfucker trying to rape me yet. What the fuck? She got a whole attitude.
She gotta get one.
She got a whole attitude.
Bitch had a condom in her pocket.
Oh my God,
you motherfuckers ain't shit.
Y'all are killing me. Y'all gotta relax like I'm sitting in my living room and shit. Woo! Well, they always said, but they always said
birds. Have a conversation.
Yeah, but you know, we have a lot to relate to. You know, don't get it twisted, as we say. You know, we all had our day. What about threesomes? Oh, what, did they get quiet?
No.
Y'all said it this way. And you say y'all did it the same time.
Shit, let's get it.
When the ratings starting to go up.
Let me tell you something. My best shit was a fivesome.
Damn.
It was me
Must have been the Jackson Five.
and 4 other girls.
Right.
And you really can say it was a sixth because I was pregnant.
Wait a second.
With the big belly though, the baby was kicking and everything.
Like, yeah, mommy. Do your thing, bitch.
I am not putting that on.
I was like, did this baby just throw her legs up?
Did she just fist bump?
Them legs that was got you in this shit from the beginning.
No, I was standing up and I was bent over.
Oh, that's the way you like it?
That's the way I get pregnant. Every time I didn't ever bent over, I was
You shooting out
pregnant.
7, goddamn.
See, if I would have seen them coming, they would have got pregnant.
Well, sometimes you gotta swallow it. No.
There you go.
That's the one thing that I cannot do.
All right, so if you put it all the way in the back, then
Wait a minute,
See?
Daisy, help her with this again.
See?
Wait a minute, Daisy.
Talking about that shit makes me not, because I like Auntie Anne's, and I always get the glazed dip. Y'all fucking up my glazed dip.
I'm sorry. So don't look at it. Don't look at
You
it.
never ate a sloppy Joe?
No.
Well, I ate a sloppy.
So wait a minute. You ate a sloppy
First
Joe?
of all,
No, I wasn't finished.
This conversation, that was a hard
What I was
laugh.
gonna say.
That was a hard laugh.
You ain't gonna
First of all,
I'll talk to you this way. I asked you ever ate a sloppy Joe. I said I ate a sloppy hoe. That's what I
You
ain't let me finish.
I was like, wait a
You
second.
ate a sloppy Joe.
y'all know that when I was young, I used to like to eat salt and seasoned salt and stuff like that. So I stopped eating salt like a couple years ago. Not a couple years ago, like a while ago. So then when my dick sucking days came out, right, and the pre-nut is salty.
Yes.
So I was scared of catching high blood pressure, so I don't fuck with
That motherfucker gotta drink more water. You gotta drink more water.
You don't drink water,
Because
do
if you want a bitch to swallow, drink water.
I want you to say, that's a professional.
Yeah, she definitely is my big cousin.
There you go.
She definitely is.
Well, maybe she can help you with some things.
We need to have a dick sucking class.
Yeah.
I mean, I can suck
Yeah,
it.
boy.
I got the lips sport, but
Yeah,
I
you
just,
gotta.
the swallowing
You can't
part.
You
finish
don't have
it
to
all.
swallow, girl. There's a whole lot of time. Just pull out. You know, just pull
I
out.
never really liked slimy shit, damn throat.
You eat goddamn oysters.
I love
That's your little
oysters,
oyster.
but that's more like a coochie now. That's a different story.
Oh shit!
I'll swallow
That's
that.
your forte. That's your.
I can see that.
Don't,
I can see that.
don't give her ass no help. That's all you need to do is give her help, man.
Coochie, yeah.
No.
Everybody husband tell us how.
Like, first of all,
no.
nothing, when a girl comes, that shit cannot grow to be a human being. A guy, the shit that comes out of him can grow to be a human being.
A walking, talking, slick mouth one. You're right. I get it.
Oh, somebody just
I
slipped
don't wanna
out
eat
you,
that.
girl.
I don't want to eat that.
Oh, boy, people
I don't wanna
See,
eat
one thing about comedy is true. No shit is true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you killing me, though. Take the lesson, though.
I feel like
you
a
gotta put it
murderer.
down your throat.
Right.
I feel like a murderer when I do shit like that. You fucking murdering kids.
Somebody got
Oh,
to
them
go.
motherfuckers.
You drowning them bitches.
Them motherfuckers dying tonight because they ain't coming to
She
fruition.
said tonight.
They dying tonight. They dying tonight. Fuck
She
that.
said tonight.
Yeah. And every other night for
That
that
is
matter.
interesting.
No, she's serious.
See how we recording this? Record that shit and send it to me.
She needs to
Inbox
practice.
Barbie Brooks at.
She needs to practice.
I got you, son. I got you, son.
She said no.
I might try. If she make that shit look good, I'ma do it.
So I'm telling you, I have
She
had the
already
same
made it
conversation with my best friend. She was like, yo, I can't swallow.
So
I
you
feel
a
like I'm
swallow
gonna tell you.
supporter.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's why you married. That's why she married.
She got the right one the first time.
Yeah, that's why she married. That's what's up.
But now you have
He
to.
said, I believe
What?
it.
Well,
Well, you got to do things, and that's why I'm happy. I feel like Bill Cosby. You got to do things.
Wait a minute, he said Bill Cosby. I'm feeling
he
funny.
did pull out
I'm
some
feeling
soda.
funny.
Okay.
I'm feeling funny.
We gonna hold together. He can go by his son. We'll make sure we all right.
As soon as we started drinking, then the conversation changed to dick swallow.
Remember, this ain't a mic. No, but you got to do things in a relationship to keep it spicy.
Yeah,
You know, I'm just saying that if you want a man, you're gonna have to do
I know how
things
to
to
do
keep
that.
a man.
I know. My
Because if you want
relationship has
somebody
been
else
long.
will.
First one,
I
first
think
one,
that would go.
9 years.
I don't know how long it was gonna
Second
take you to
one's
say it, but I
7
know it was
years.
I was
coming.
gonna let you finish first. See,
Yeah.
Oh,
I
you finally
cut
let
you
me-
off. I cut you off this
At
time.
that time, you should have cut me off.
Yeah, fuck all that. If the motherfucker gonna cheat, he gonna cheat whether you sucking dick or taking it in the ass. If you home every day cooking and cleaning, if he gonna cheat, he gonna cheat.
Right.
I'm not concerned about what I'm not doing. Another bitch gonna do. Let that bitch do it. She can
Right.
move in and help us all. We can make this work.
Polygamy.
There you go.
That's what
But
I
I'm
the other
not.
day about polygamy.
Yeah, I'm not
Yes.
going above and beyond. I'm not putting more in than you willing to put in. You not the leader of this. Is a conglomerate. We work together, motherfucker. The same expectations you have of me should be the same expectations I have of you. You want me to stay fit? You want me to look sexy in a lingerie? Let me see you in something sexy without your gut hanging over the front.
Damn. But
That's
you know,
all right.
I want you to use that in your act. Because that was funny. And you saw the way your neck was moving.
Right.
You were saying it like you were serious, but it's funny.
Right.
So I'm looking at the humor from it. When you look at that back,
That's
you
how
right
I
there.
be.
I was funny. I want you to be
I do
sexy.
not
Don't be
play.
coming in
None
with
of
the-
that. None of that.
No, I agree that men should be
That's
sexy
why I
for
was
women.
talking about that damn tourist, because that's how he thinks.
Who? Not
It's
that.
all the women, and he just the king. The king of what?
No, but that you didn't have the right Taurus. See, all Taurus ain't the same. If you,
No, no.
wait. No, I'm just saying. Don't be trying to play tennis over here, guys.
I didn't say nothing. I didn't know
Her
what
eyes look like this. Where do they go?
Yeah, no. I just want to see how this gonna go.
Oh shit! No,
Very,
I'm just
very
saying.
I'm waiting to
selfish.
see what color the walls.
We gotta let me finish
Very
this sentence. I don't
selfish.
try to talk to y'all. Got more energy than I have. I save my goddamn energy for the stage. That's who I am. But what I'm saying, in a relationship, to keep it, there have to be a balance and a chemistry there. You don't have that chemistry, you're not going to get what you want. You're not, and you can't say I don't like this. You got to mate there too. You have to learn to like it for the mate. Sometimes you
people
might
be
lose
forced
you
in
might lose a
relationships
good mate.
sometimes.
Huh?
People be liking one thing about a person to be forced in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So a guy could get some good pussy and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna marry this bitch. That's not enough for you to marry this bitch.
No.
Because you don't like this about her. You don't like the way she talks. She might nag. She might do this. You don't even know half the time, because if you don't have kids with the bitch, or the bitch don't have kids before you give her one, you don't even know what type of mama this bitch
There
is.
you go.
So now your relationship whole totally fucked up because of all these other things you don't like, and you try to hold on to one thing that you do like.
I done fucked around, ran into women's rights.
Right, because I've been in it. My relationships always last a long time because I got some good pussy. And they be trying to hold on to that. But bitch, you don't like me for real because I just cussed you out and your mother out and your grandmother out and all y'all bitches
called
got
all y'all a bunch of
you feel
bitches.
me? And you still talking about I love her.
Right.
Now, how do you take a motherfucker home and say, I got good pussy?
Prove it.
Like a nigga was free.
Let me stop at the
Psycho
gas.
boy.
I'm gonna stop at the gas station.
Yo, I hate that gas station pill. That shit is a fucking killer.
What?
Gas station pill. You don't know about the gas station pill?
She married.
Oh my God.
Only thing she get from the gas station is
Every
gas.
guy has tried it just like every guy
I
has
have one
gave
in my
you the
bag.
smushy.
I think I got one in my bag. You know what I'm
Let
talking
me
about?
tell you something.
No, you keep talking.
If you have a guy,
I really don't.
if you have a guy and you fuck him so good and his dick go down, one time if you fuck him and his dick still up, it's still like boom, he had the gas station pill. Because that's what the fuck that should do. You be like, it's still there. Then you get back on and try, go. Then you finish everything. You done fucking shit out. You sweat, your hair fucked up, a piece missing,
Right.
your eyelash gone, all that.
That
Shit went
stuck to the
down.
side of your face.
Right. Shit went down.
Always remember.
And his shit still like this. Hello. He had a gas
This is
station.
a gas station pill, right?
Them bitches is
You
not
know, sir, you
no
know.
joke.
This is a pill.
I'm trying to.
That's the pill. It's a black, they call them a black beauty.
Okay.
Right, maybe a half hour before.
So, but wait, do it prolong the nut, or do you nut
No,
and
they
then keep
nut,
going?
You nut and keep going. It just don't get
That's
down. Your
abnormal.
stick do not go. It
But
like,
this is an herb, though.
they be like
Okay.
that.
See, that's an herb, and this is, you know, you gotta do your
All
shit,
night
too,
long.
now. This is a say out.
This nigga pull out a Ziploc bag.
No, I haven't done this.
You
Grown
be ready. Why the fuck you got that tonight? Can somebody call me a lift? Can somebody call me a motherfucker lift?
Anybody tell you they got good pussy? Look,
Somebody call me a
turn
lift.
this show to
Did you see me just turn around, look at you?
This is my bad.
Bitch, you got some splaining to do.
I'm going over here.
She live up the street. Give me
You
that damn
getting the
mic.
same thing at my house.
Oh man.
So you want old dick or young dick? You know that. You getting some dick, bitch.
At least with the old one, you know where it's coming
Right.
from. Oh my goodness. You know, there's a rewinding this tape, you know. She said, what you got?
Let me see what kind of energy I got tonight. That depends on my energy level. Shit.
That made me take my pillows out of my pocket.
This shit is crazy.
No, but it's humor. You know, we find a little humor and everything. But I go there with any conversation.
Absolutely.
You go there with any bag like that, nigga.
It's in my bag. In my bag. You know. You never heard the song.
You like a lesbian with a dick in the bed. You got your fucking pillows
Backstack.
like. This shit is crazy.
But that's one of the subjects I did want to talk about. Is why do women go to the lesbians or the lesbians? Or,
No, this is next time.
well, I got you.
It's 9:05.
That brain with do. It's 9:05.
But you know I'm gonna think
Oh, that's the end
of
of the subject. We gotta
What
see
happened?
it.
It's 9:05. So you gonna come back now?
Now,
We gonna get her back on a Tuesday.
Right, if it ain't nobody, if
She gonna
I
come
can
back on
find
another
if I can
Tuesday.
find somebody to deal with,
Because
the
you keep it
kids
live,
and-
man. We gotta keep it live.
and jujitsu.
Sure.
If I can get my mother.
Well, what
to
time
stay-
they get home? What time do they get home?
Like 7:15,
Oh, you
7:30.
can still make it here. We ain't finished at 8 o'clock, 8:30.
Deal. Then I can do that.
Come
So
tag
after
in.
jujitsu, I'll drop them off home and then I
Right.
can get
You
here.
would be
Yeah,
surprised.
because
You would be
this the
surprised.
after party. Like,
Listen, I
come
read-
for the after party.
Yeah.
After the
Alright.
party.
Yeah, because usually finish at
Because he
7:30.
he got a
Okay.
church crowd, you know.
Yeah,
Right,
but
right,
don't
right.
worry about it. They ain't on YouTube.
I know, but I'm just saying the
It's
after
crazy.
party. But I'm talking about the live
That
party.
shit been on.
Right. So the
Yeah,
after
no, mine
party
on
is the
YouTube,
fun
so
part.
I done lost 3 church gigs fucking with y'all. I I know they ain't YouTube. That people, they got 8 tracks and shit. They ain't on no damn YouTube. But no, on Tuesdays, you're welcome to come in, man.
Absolutely.
That's what we want. We want that energy, and you bring a lot of energy. And but I was about ready to say that will help you when you hit the stage also. That's another reason why I take this. It helps when you hit the stage. I had rehearsal last night with the play. Now I'm still talking, but it keeps you loose. You got to stay loose and ready. And being around comedians, it makes it easier to be funny.
Right.
Because we ain't gonna just laugh at the
window.
You can feed off them or whatever. But we really appreciate you, kid. You came through.
Thank you for having me. I
with you.
appreciate kicking with y'all. My new family. I love y'all.
Oh, please, come on now.
Hey,
look. But I told you from the jump, you know, listen, look, I didn't have to tell you. You told
Money
me.
girl.
Let me tell you, we done talked about everything from A to Z.
There you go.
And we get it, you know. One of the things I don't want to do is block that talent. She got so much talent.
Yes, you do.
Oh, no.
Yes, you do.
We went from clean last week and she got dirty raw.
We'll probably be back clean next week.
But Rickey knows that I'll be like this. Like, I talk about anything and everything. So.
As you should. As you
Big
should.
time,
The
yeah.
more we talk about stuff, the more we get it. Because
The last call for alcohol.
This is haunted.
Last call for a customer. Look at stuff.
Oh, she licking them there. Wait a minute, I feel stockings. Oh, shit.
You know I met this little prancy little thing with that dirty filthy in the church.
I was cussing my homegirl out saying, bitch, I'm going to fucking hell. I'm a vendor in the good Lord house. You know my mouth.
You see how I met him?
And then he walked past.
And the next week or so, you was in the show. Just that quick. Boom.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
That's what's
But listen, y'all, we're going to check out because this is after 9 o'clock. Things got to go back
It's
to.
been real. It's
been real. This is Rickey, the Real Deal. And boom.
Barbie Brooks.
Bobby Brooks and our special guest, Miss
Stacy the Great.
Stacy Stacy, you were great.
Thank you.
We love your energy, and we hope to see you again real soon. Okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Rickey,
Thanks for
Real
having me.
Deal, Shackleford, and Bobby Brooks Show. We check it out. Y'all have a good night. I'll see you next Tuesday. That was fun, sure.
That was a
I
ball.
love your energy, man.
Thank you.
I knew it was gonna come in just a matter
There you
of time.
go. There you go. You know I got to warm up.
No, I know. Well, let's just see
And
this thing.
relax and get my and start running my mouth.